2011 Ford Escape. It's got a 24 valve V6 Durtech. Customer put a brand new battery in it. It's still getting a 1.2 amp draw with everything shut off. Shouldn't be any more than like a third of an amp. 0.030 I think is spec or lower. So this is way too much of an amp draw. So I'm going to start unhooking the positive cable to the starter, probably the alternator. See if I can start there and see if something internally is gone wacky. So I'm gonna pull the negative cable off of the battery and then pull the positive cable off the starter and then hook everything back up and see if my amp draw is still the same. You can see how it went down then it went back up. Something's definitely wrong here. So I pulled the starter. It's the cable and everything, you can kind of see it down there a little bit. It's all off. And actually I had my meter on wrong before. I had to zero it out and put it back, and you can see how this thing jumps to 1.3 and then sometimes it goes all the way back up to 7. So we're gonna check something else on a hunch. One of the old timers in the shop, can't see, there it goes right there, back up to 6.6. So one of the old timers in the shop just walked by and he said, "Hey kiddo," and I've been doing this for a long time, but mind you, these guys have been doing it a lot longer than me. He said, "Go back there and unplug that connector or pull the fuse for the rear wiper. You see how it's not parked in the park position? There could be an issue with that, the way it all parks. It needs to see it in the park position to go to sleep. So let's check that." So I popped the trunk, and sure enough, as soon as I put my hand on the plastic's warm. All this is ice cold. See if I got my thermal gun, just so you can see. Body's 65 degrees, glass 64, motor 118. Yeah, let's see what happens when I unplug everything. See how my draw goes away. All right, so that's unplugged. Let's go back up here and look and see. Still got a 2 amp draw. Let's go plug it back in and see what happens. Yep, that's definitely a problem. It went up to 8, then back down. Back up to 8. So now I'm gonna unplug it and see what happens after it stays unplugged. See if it jumps around like that. So I realized the reason I still had a 2 amp draw is because I didn't shut the back glass. And my lights inside are still on. So I'm kind of waiting for them to time out right now. Make sure this glass is closed all the way. Okay, it is. Looks like my lights finally went out. Now let's go check my amp draw. All right, going down. Everything's trying to go to sleep. Lost another amp, so my lights was a major issue. Now let's let it sit and come back here in a little bit and see what the draw is. Okay, so that's what it is. 0 amp draw. It was that back motor on the back glass, so that's where we're at with this. So now I'll try to sell it to the customer. The problem with this back glass is when you do this motor, this assembly is very difficult to get apart. Sometimes you got to grind some of these components out. It locks up inside there. Yeah, so this is you got to be very careful with this because you can't get the lock nut off. Sometimes you break the back glass, yada yada yada. So anyway, that'll be another video. Y'all remember to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up please. Any comments is great. Thank you for supporting the channel and continuing to help me grow it. So If possible, subscribe please. If this has helped you, let me know in the comment section how it's helped you.